I've always had hope, but I've never trusted the hope. I grew up here in Seattle, and my parents provided a good, loving home for both my brothers and myself. The difficulty was that my parents were very reserved and didn't talk a lot about emotional issues. And so I was carrying a big story with me that I could not tell anybody.
Sadly, child sexual abuse is very prevalent in our society, with 1 out of 4 girls and 1 out of 6 boys being affected.
Childhood is a time, it's just a natural, organic time of growth and discovery and hopefulness. What's to come next? But when children are sexually abused, their world changes. Instead of being hopeful and looking forward to the future, their focus and their energy really goes into, how do I cope?
I grew up with really horrific headaches and anxiety and separation issues, and I realized I needed help. When the person who had abused me came out and told my parents that he had, I was 26 at the time, and it had been 18 years since the abuse had stopped, and everything started to make sense to me. I knew I couldn't do this alone, and I needed some help. My journey towards health and healing after that was slow and frustrating. Part of the frustration is that I thought that it was a quick fix, and I quickly found out that it was not a quick fix.
It's easy to think that something that happens to you in childhood would sort of dissipate or become less as the years go by. We find that actually it doesn't fade away, it compounds because life gets more complex. As an adult, there's more to manage, and a lot of that is about relationships.
My experience was amazing at Shepherd's compared to the other counseling that I have received over many years. I worked with therapists who dealt with anxiety and depression, and when I would start to bring up the trauma issues, it usually then was redirected back into anxiety and depression and body image and not the trauma itself. And when I came to Shepherd's, that's what we dealt with. We got into it and really worked on what the trauma was and how to move beyond that.
It is different coming to Shepherd's. People come here because they know that we specialize and have for over 30 years in working with adult survivors of childhood sexual abuse. Sometimes people come and they've worked with a therapist who just doesn't know how to deal with it, or they've plateaued and now they want to go deeper. So when they come here, they know that we have the expertise to walk with them through the healing process.
It's important for adult survivors to find hope because sometimes it feels hopeless. Sometimes you feel like this is all life can be, and it's never going to get better. And so the fact to know that there's a place like Shepherd's that has worked with literally thousands of other survivors, they get it, they know how to take someone through the path of healing, and to know that there's light at the end of the tunnel makes sometimes a difference between life and death.
It's a hopeful thing to join with other human beings. Being sexually abused is a very isolating experience, is a very alone experience, and people often pull back from human connection, and they don't trust human connection. So being in group gives you a chance to form a bond, form trusting relationships with other people, and that brings hope.
The group at Shepherd's was really amazing for me. The biggest part is that I was with other women who had experienced similar trauma experiences, and I just really felt safe and I felt welcomed.
It's important for survivors to have access to the kind of help that Shepherd's offers, because without it, there isn't hope. There's really not a hope of things getting better. And so having access to a place that says, you belong here, we get this, we can help, that's incredibly important, and knowing that brings hope to survivors.
So donations to Shepherds help people get access to therapy at Shepherds because we don't want to turn anyone away, whether they can afford it or not. So it is our goal to help a survivor regardless of their ability to pay.
I've had some dreams come true, and I met the love of my life. I never thought that I would be able to be in a successful, wonderful, long-term relationship. About 12 years ago, I met Lupe, and 8 years ago we were married. Shepherds counseling has made a huge difference in my life, not only for me, but also for my husband. They have a partner support group that he attended while I attended my women's group. I came in here and I found hope, and I found people who understood what the process of walking through this journey is all about, and were able to help me learn more about that process. I had no way to understand that people could love and care about me. A new world has been opened up to me, and I can now not only feel that love and support, I also can receive it.